I am so excited because I haven't done an Adidas upcycle in a super long time, and Beyonce of course just came out with a new Ivy Park. I've done like my take on like the Ivy Park style before. This one doesn't really have anything to do with the new collection, but hi everyone, I'm Angelina and this is Blueprint DIY, where we remake our clothes to be just as unique as us. I found this Adidas t-shirt and it had a spot on it and I was just like, hey, why not use that whole trend of like revealing skin in certain places and the layers on top of layers thing that we saw on the runway that we really wanted to do. Why don't we use this as an opportunity to do that? So let's do it. All right, so I have my t-shirt here, and like I said, we're gonna focus on how do we turn a t-shirt into a tank top. Yes, mine is a little bit complicated because I'm trying to do this layer in a layer thing, but I think the easiest thing that you can take away from this is how you would turn a t-shirt into a tank top. You can see these red marks here. This is a heat erasable pen, and I am going to mark it. I have a stain on this one, and that's why this one is going to get a little crazy here. But if you wanted to just make a just regular tank top, you can make a round neck tank top, or you can make a V-neck tank top, whatever you want it to be. This is going to be an asymmetrical tank top. I may completely regret this, and maybe it'll be the most amazing thing ever, who knows. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the back first. So I'm going to cut like really close to the seam of the sleeve and go ahead and cut that sleeve off. And you also want to make sure that you're leaving seam allowance, and you want to connect them at the top. All right, and so then when I cut my front, the front layer of a tank top, or any top actually, is always a little bit more in than the back. All right, so now it's all about the back of the neck. Once again, we're going to cut, basically all we're doing is cutting the neckband off. And then we can go ahead and cut the front. Make sure to leave seam allowance, make sure we only cut one layer. Before putting on the ribbing, you need to decide whether you want it to be a loose fit or do you want it to be fitted. And I have decided fitted, so that means I need to take it in on the sides. But before I do that, I am going to crop it, and then I'm going to take it in on the sides like this amount, turn it inside out, and I measured instead of pinning, and it was about 2 inches. All right, so now I'm going to go and sew it on my serger because it is a stretch material. If you don't have a serger, you can use your overlock stitch on your regular sewing machine or a shallow zigzag stitch. All right, so now all we have to do is finish the edges. I have another t-shirt here. This t-shirt has a slightly ribbed texture to it, and it makes it perfect for like the neck seam and the armholes and stuff like that. All I'm going to do is cut 2.5-inch strips from the bottom of this t-shirt, and I'm going to work my way up because I don't want to cut off more than I have to. I might still be able to have a cropped t-shirt at the end of this. And then we want to cut that open on one end. I am going to fold it in half and iron it all along the edge. You just need a strip long enough to go around the edge of each of your openings, and then we're going to open it back up and fold that half in half towards the fold line. And we're also going to take the other end and fold it towards the fold line as well. And we do that all along the whole length. This just makes it easier for you. Fold the whole thing. So now we have this ribbing or seam binding that we're going to use for our armholes and neck holes. It's time to sew it on. This is one half, the front half of the t-shirt that I cut off. I happen to know that this is the right length because I did one side already. If you don't have the right length, you'll leave a tail when you first start to sew this down. And then when you get to the other side, you'll sew the end together, the two ends together at the right length, and then, you know, continue to sew it down. All right, let's sew this down. When I am doing seam binding, I always like to sew the inside first. So I'm gonna start with the underarm seam. I'm gonna open this up. Actually, what I'm gonna do is, since I know that this is the right length, I'm going to lay these together and stitch them. In order to get this not to be as fat as it could be, I'm going to follow the middle line and just clip this seam right at the middle line. And what that does is it allows me to do this, so that when I fold it, 1/2 of the seam is on one side and 1/2 is on the other side, so that now my seam lays a little bit flatter than it would have. I'm ready to sew this on, and I'm going to put the middle seam right at the underarm. I'm gonna go ahead and serge this or shallow zigzag it all along so that it is completely going around the t-shirt. Fold it right side out, and we want to go ahead and let everything fold according to how it was ironed. This stitch here is gonna go up. We want to find our half line, our other fold line, and there we go. And I'm gonna just fold it all around and clip it. That's gonna make my job so much easier. We're gonna go ahead and take it to the sewing machine and make a top stitch along this edge. And whenever I start something like this, I always start with what can't be seen if I'm wearing it. So in this case, I'm starting with the underarm seam, because if I mess up right at the beginning, the thread wants to act funny, whatever, you know, I don't know, a lot of things can happen. At least it's hidden underneath my arm. That's just my thinking behind it. Now we have to do the neck. Mine is going to be a little bit more extreme, but I'm going to show you just in case you picked a V-neck, what you want to do. So I'm going to lay this how it would be attached, and I'm going to lay the other side how it would be attached. Fold side goes to the inside, raw side goes to the outside, and I am going to draw a line where the two can connect, and then just cut it along the line. Then I'll open them up and lay them good side to good side. I'm gonna sew them together like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and iron all of this, and then we can come back and put it on the neck. All right, so we have our ribbing for the neck. We're gonna do this one slightly different than we did the seam binding. And what we need to do is identify where the seam is gonna be. Seam is gonna be where our iron, and also we need to have the same amount of seam here. So once we have this turned over and everything folded, we are going to, right where that corner is, we're going to put that there and go ahead and sew this down. I left about 2 inches free at the back because we're going to connect it. Hopefully we have enough. Yeah, we'll have enough to go back there and connect it in the middle someplace. But what we want to do in order to get this to turn the direction we need it to turn, we need to snip right here. So now that that's snipped, we can go ahead and turn this and go the other direction. Like we said, this is the opposite side of the neck, the straight side. We're gonna go and sew that side down. All right, so at the back, you can see right here, we have 2 pieces left. Make sure they're both folded and figure out what length I actually need, and then make a stitch right at the place where it's just enough. Then I am going to confirm that that is indeed the right, and then I can cut the excess. And now I can continue my sewing. I'm gonna flatten it out. Here we go. Looking pretty good. To finish this top off, I serged the bottom, folded it under, and then top stitched it. And that's how it turned out. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Definitely, if you're enjoying these videos, hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a thing. It definitely helps the channel, helps YouTube to know that you enjoy this content. So yes, please do that. I greatly appreciate it. All right, back to the video. One more layer, one more finishing touch to make this like the trend that we were trying to accomplish for this spring. And I wanted some mesh, couldn't find it. Went out one last time and found this. I want to do something a little bit different with it. So basically I'm just going to go from under the arm and in a curve, Front and back are gonna be exactly the same, so that does make it easier. So all I wanna do is cut a curve like this. That's what we have. And we're also going to cut it up the middle. I need to finish the edges. I'm gonna do that off camera because it's gonna be the exact same thing that we did with the armholes, except smaller. All right, so the last thing that we're going to do, you can see I have the binding on there. It came out wavy, I promise. Like, I literally promise I did not like stretch it when I was sewing down the first part, but on the second part it started to bunch up. So in order to even get it on there, I had to stretch it. So I don't know, I'm still practicing the whole seam binding thing, but I'm glad the shirt at least turned out really well. I got a buckle, like these plastic buckles like for backpacks, and all I'm doing is putting this through here. I'm gonna put the seam binding on top of one another, and then I'm gonna go ahead and top stitch this to the buckle. The easiest way to do this is with a zipper foot so that you can get as close to the buckle as possible, and then have a little bit so that you could cut off the excess. All right, so let's see how they turned out.
I already know what's on your mind. I already know what's on your mind.
Oh, okay, so this spring summer collection seems like it is having a lot of black and white so far. I am definitely getting some color. Color is coming. It is coming in the next couple of weeks because I am so excited about a few trending colors right now. So I had to add that bright pink because I am just loving the solid bright colors that I'm seeing, and I want to mix and match some more bright colors. So we have that coming up, but I absolutely love this. I love that they are standalone pieces that can be combined to just make a really standout piece, or more separately to make other pieces more stand out, just to give some interest. I like just really giving interest to my outfits, and I definitely feel like these two pieces did that. So let me know in the comments if you enjoy this. Did you like the asymmetry? Did it drive you crazy? I know for some people asymmetry drives them crazy, but let me know in the comments how you felt about this. And definitely I have a whole host of other videos for you to watch right here, and definitely hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a thing. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.